Welcome everyone to Arts Class on Everything in Between. I am your host Eileen, aka Eileen Little Crafter. Additional information about this show and my my crafting show, which is on YouTube. The Little Crafter Show can be found on my website, eileenlittlecrafter.com. Oh boy. Alrighty, so I have a couple of announcements. I am working on a visual version of Everything Under the Sun. I already have 2 shows on YouTube. I did make that post about Everything Under the Sun, and I put that link in the description box down below for that video. If you're listening to this on YouTube, I'll link it to the video, and I'll put it somewhere in the video. But if you're listening to it on speaker, it's on my blog, and I'll put the blog post again so that you guys could, or go to my website, eileenlittlecrafter.com, and you'll see that blog post. Because I'm not sure if you guys know it. Anyways, I keep trying to keep these things short and sweet, but it doesn't work. Alrighty, so there's a blog post for Everything Under the Sun, and I'm working on the visual part of it. It's just been kind of slow going. It was no Mixed Media Monday, but I did have a previous page that I was working on, and during that time the video, my cameras were crazy, so I just decided to put that up since I already have the draft. I have everything from A to B, but there's no particular video for that, so that should take care of that. I forgot to put it up on Monday, so I just threw it up there today. And I wanted to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. I forgot to do that on my last podcast, and I would like to tell everybody who are servicemen and women, thank you for defending this country, past and present. Your sacrifice from you and your family is greatly appreciated, and no amount of words can say thank you for your ultimate sacrifice. I salute you. And the other thing that I would like to say is my heartfelt condolences and wishing speedy recovery for those who were attacked in the bombings during the Ariana Grande concert. It's very sad, and my condolences to those lost, and wishing everybody a speedy recovery. And for those who stepped in those young people's lives in their time of need, helping them to provide help and a hold of a hand, I commend you. So anyways, that was a little hard to say, because being a mother myself, it's hard. I could barely listen to the news reports without wanting to cry, and I'm sure that it's the nation, it feels the same way. Alrighty, so moving on along. Today I'm going to be talking about motivation. Motivation can be good and it can be bad, because sometimes when you are so motivated, you can be closed-minded, narrow-minded about your goal, and not listen to other people's advice, opinions, or even to what your own body is telling you. So the key to balancing it is balance, and you have to figure out, are you happy with the motivation? Are you happy with the results? Are the results healthy? Because sometimes when you are being motivated by something, let's say weight loss. People are so motivated by weight loss that sometimes they're not really taking care of the body the way it should be. Sometimes they don't eat enough, or they don't drink enough, or it's little things, or they're working out so much and they don't really listen to their body. Sometimes even though you're just sore, sometimes you do need a break. And that's just my opinion. Sometimes people say, oh, if you're sore, just keep going. Sometimes, depending on the situation and depending on you as a person, you may not want to push that past that soreness. You may want to push slowly. You really have to listen to yourself and to your body. Well, actually, you need to listen to your body, and start off slow. And even though I know some people say, oh, well, you gotta think about this huge number. So let me backtrack. So balance, one, is key to motivation. You have to know when to push and when not to push. So balance is key. So that's my thing on that. When you are trying to get to a goal and be motivated, sometimes you're overly motivated and sometimes you're not motivated enough. And pushing yourself to a healthy limit is good, and sometimes backing down to a healthy limit is good. So it's a balancing act. Okay. When looking for motivation, sometimes you have to look inward and outward. And what I mean by that, and this is something that has happened to me a lot, sometimes it's a saying or a song or something that comes to me and it motivates me. Now, does it last all the time? No. Is it always going to last all the time? No. So again, it's that healthy balance that we're looking for to motivate ourselves and to be inspired by others, to be inspired by yourself as well. Because for me, I think that you have to literally make this motivation your own. Like, let's say if you have a motto that you heard and you're like, wow, that's a really good motto. It may be somebody else's words, but you really got to live it. And it's okay if you change it to fit who you are in your life. And it has to be observed, and sometimes it has to even be changed, because your life isn't always in this constant straight line. It's all over the place, and it's up, it's down, it's this way, it's that way, so you have to fit in the motto, or maybe even change the motto completely to fit what it is that you need and you want in a healthy perspective. And I think that sometimes we forget things like that. And I guess my motto, which has been working for me, and I kind of have to thank Lisa for this, and I kind of just use it for myself a lot. It's not a race; it's a marathon, and I kind of try and live that, and I know that I'm not always going to get things right, and I'm always going to keep searching for that path, and I kind of feel like I've taken that in. And my personal experience with this is the weight loss, the raising of my son. I may get it wrong one week, I may get it right one week. It's life, and life is a continuous journey, and we have to see that and realize that it's not always going to be perfect. It's going to be messy. It's going to be hard. It's going to be to the point that you're pulling out your hair and you may want to give up, but you can't give up on life. I mean, and to think that, oh yeah, death is, the end. Yeah, that may be the truth, but right now, what is it that you're doing that's motivating you to get to what you really want? And once you reach that goal, then you motivate yourself to do something else, or you can motivate. And I think also within that motivation, you have to find baby steps. I think baby steps are key, and are helpful to get you to your ultimate goal. And sometimes even when you don't make that ultimate goal, still have those little celebrations. Still be happy for the little things that come your way, the big things that come your way. You know, it's not all about celebrating the big things. It's about celebrating the little things that, you know, matter to you and make you really happy. It's not, you know, we don't have to wait for, like, let's say Christmas, you know, to give ourselves presents. Our birthday, you know, to give us something special. Like, you know, if you hit a special goal, you know, maybe you can go out and buy that dress. Or if you saved up enough money and you see, you know, the item that you want and it just happens to be on sale. Or maybe even if you wait for a sale and you saved up enough money and you're like, oh, I have this month and I can spend this and still save a little money. Hey, it's a win-win. You know, so it's, again, that balance act. It's choosing a motto. It's living, you know, and learning to let go. And it's this, I guess motivation is all about balance, you know, when you really sit down and think about it. And no matter how you look at it, no matter how you see it, I think that motivation equals balance, and balance equals, you know, I don't know, balance equals, you know, a good healthy life. Sometimes, you know, balance could be out of whack, sometimes it could be, and we always have to somehow do this juggling act, and it's kind of a weird thing. I've been really thinking about it. Like, I've been thinking about small goals, how to balance this, how to balance that. You know, even in your personal life, you have to balance. You have to, you know, put things down. Okay, like appointments here, this, okay, dinner time is here, and this, you know, so it's a balancing act, whether it's calories, whether it's balancing, okay, today's after school, and okay, dinner needs to be here and this needs to be there, and, you know, okay, so, you know, you got to be downstairs at this time for the bus. You know, it's kind of things like little things like that it's a balancing act. And I know that it could be sometimes chaotic, it could be crazy. Some days it comes easy and some days it doesn't, but you're motivated to do it because it's part of your routine, it's part of your life, it's part of your family. You know, it helps keep you going. It helps you, I think. And I don't know if this is making any sense, but this is something that has been on my brain for a little while now. And I think that motivation can come from a lot of different places. And sometimes, you know, you have to tweak it to fit who or what you are, in a sense. Because what would work for me won't work for everybody else, and vice versa. And I think that it's okay, you know? It's okay. I mean, you can be inspired by somebody and say, wow, you know, I want to try that. And if you try it, you're like, this didn't work for me. But, you know, it's a good try, you know? And don't feel bad about, you know, and I'm totally to blame myself that sometimes when I try something and I don't get it right, I'm like, oh, man, what happened? Why did I... Sometimes I may try again, and I'm like, okay, the results are a little bit better, but not exactly what I want. Sometimes it's that's okay. I mean, sometimes getting the courage to try is awesome, you know, just doing it, you know, just saying, okay, I'm just gonna, I mean, not knock it out the park, but, you know, something is better than nothing. And I think that, you know, that to me is motivating, you know, to try and either, you know, try something else, or, you know, never giving up is motivating because that's a good quality within yourself. And for others to see, you know, that could be inspiring, that could be helpful to others and to yourself. And sometimes we have to learn how to say, okay, it's not going to be perfect, and it's okay. And that's, again, that balance of letting go of that perfection, which I feel like these days perfection is pushed on us so much that it's just, you know, sickening in a sense. I think that sometimes we have to start off small, read everything that we can as possible, and take sometimes things with a grain of salt, and sometimes we just gotta figure it out, what would be healthy and make us happy at the same time. And that's the balance that we need to strive for, whether it's in our personal lives, whether it's in our careers, and never stop. I know that this may be a heavy conversation, but I just been feeling that, I've been receiving so many things that are motivating, like songs, talking to this friend, talking to that friend, watching this friend, talk about their experience from this and that, and watching crafting videos that have inspired me to think, maybe I might give that a try. And that looks like really, really, I have that. That looks like fun. Maybe I can try that, so I've just been pretty much inspired and motivated to try new things. And I've also been nervous to try new things as of late, I know. And I guess in this way, this is a pep talk for myself, and hopefully a pep talk for you if you're missing some motivation. And, and sometimes don't be afraid, to ask for help, whether it's from a doctor or whether it's from a friend, or self-help books are always good, see what, is recommended, or just pick one up and say, let me give this shot. Let me give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, try something else. There's always some information. But then again, don't follow it to the letter, because it's not going to be you. It may not always be 100% right. And in this digital age, I kind of feel like we need to take things with a little bit of a grain of salt. Well, even more of a grain of salt, depending on the situation. But we have to explore that not everybody knows everything, and that sometimes, all we need is a little bit of a compass and a guide. And once it starts to feel natural, you get into this rhythm. And yes, the rhythm is gonna, be disrupted, and then you get back on, and that's where it becomes something where it's not a race, it's a marathon. Comes in, and I think that is key. So let me, so we talked about in this episode motivation. It could be bad, it could be good. And if it's too, if it's too bad, if it's like, if you're not motivated enough, find that motivation. And if it's hurting you and not keeping you in a safe open-mindedness, and whether it's mental or physically healthy, then you need to, be a little bit more open, a little bit more on the healthier side. And so you may have to bring it down to a healthy, level that balances it out. Of course, balance is huge and key. Finding a motto or a saying that you could adapt into your life and use it. And when it doesn't fit your life no more, find something else. Whether it's from a song, whether it's from somebody else, or a quote. Find something that fits and works for you and make it your own. And don't be afraid to change it up so that it can fit you. I think, so that's 4. 5, keep trying. 6, inspire others and inspire yourself. By trying, by, being, things that you learn is giving back, and that's also good, to keep balance. And I don't know, I guess it's good karma in a sense, if you believe in that. So I think 6 is, inspiring others, and don't be afraid to inspire others. And don't be afraid to be inspired by somebody else. I know that sometimes people are like, oh, well, I don't want to be sheep, but sometimes, watching somebody else do something is inspiring. And 7, inspiration and motivation can come from anywhere. You just got to be open-minded. And 8, don't be afraid to try something. So with that in mind, I don't know if I'm going to do a podcast about this. Not a podcast. I meant to say a blog post about this. But, maybe I might just kind of give, a little bit of something. So those are my keys that I am working on for myself. And I hope that this has helped you and given you some insight. If you guys have any other, thoughts about this, please, I would love to hear from you, whether you're listening to it on SoundCloud. And I would like to thank my listener and who liked my podcast. Thank you so much. I think her name was Mary, and if it's not, I'm sorry. I have to write these things down. It's nerve-wracking. Alrighty. So, what inspires you? What motivates you? I would love to hear from that, whether you're listening from SoundCloud, YouTube, or on speaker. You can always comment down below, or you can always email me your comments or questions at Eileen at eileenlittlecrafter.com. And my website has a little section that says contact me. I keep forgetting to tell you guys that. But those are the 3 ways that you can contact me and let me know what's on your brain. Comments, questions on what motivates you, what inspires you. Would definitely love to hear from you guys. And I want to thank everybody who has been listening to my show. You guys are awesome. I'm trying to get the motivation and the inspiration to start trying to get more videos. Like I said, I'm working on the visual component of what some of the sites are, and I'm working on maybe a video for my turret. My turret. I think I might do a turret haul. I think that I have some key pieces that I'm loving right now, and I love turret. But that's another episode for here or there. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this one, and thank you so much for listening. And I will catch you on the next podcast. Bye for now.